Hello everyone. Welcome to the Radio Club DIU podcast. Today we have Yognik Baghel. He is the IRS officer of 2018 batch. He is currently working as a deputy director at the ED, which is Directorate of Enforcement, and he has also worked with customs and has joined up with agencies, secret agencies, what we see in movies, and then also uh, is a keen student of philosophy.
Thank you, Prayag. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Yognik sir, for joining us. How are you doing?
I'm going great. I'm doing great. How are you, Prayag? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm good. Nice to finally have you here. It is our first podcast from Radio Blog. We are starting this new series with alumni. So we'll be exploring how your life was at DICT, then what you do and how was your work, and yeah, then philosophy and life in general. What advice do you have for students and all?
Great. Seems like a good topic, and I'm really excited for this interaction. And I'm honored to be the first guest on
Yeah,
your podcast. So that's an honor for me.
thanks to you for joining us. So how was your how was your life at DICT? How was campus culture back then? Because even the very recent alumni complain about that the campus culture has been going down year after year, year after year, and also during like 2015, 16, 17, I've heard that DICT was at its peak. What do you call it? It was an IIT plus plus, actually an IIT plus plus institution, and yeah, I mean it was the best time of DA. I've heard from like internet and Quora, and also uh, how was life at DA back then?
So, life at DA, let me just sum it up in one line. One of the best days in my life. And I'm sure everybody, I'm sure you're going to say the same thing once you will be out there making out a living. So I graduated in 2015. My years in DA was from 2011 to 15, you know, around 14 to 10 years ago. I'm sure a lot must have changed. See, one thing that I can just say right on top is smartphones were not as in vogue back then as it is right now. So, I think that answers a lot. We were out there more comparatively to what people I see. I was recently in the campus and I saw people were glued, students were glued to their phone screens. So it was not that much, which meant more human interactions, more social stuff happening. I don't know if Friday Night Live is still going on. Is it still going on? You
Sorry, what?
know, the Friday Night Live we used to have live band performances on Friday night.
Oh,
So every Friday night, people
oh
would
no
come
no
and, I mean,
that
students.
doesn't happen
Yeah,
now.
yeah. So students used to come and we used to perform in the cafe, open in the cafe area. So, just like again, so smartphones were not being used that much. Internet was there, but mostly restricted to laptops. And so we were out there enjoying more with each other. That is one thing. Then I don't know how about the club culture is going out right now because at our time we had a very flourishing drama, dance, debate, press. So again, that meant a lot of interaction with each other, a lot of actual ground stuff happening.
Yeah.
Um, is it still there right now?
Yeah, most of the people complain that okay, it is declining, that the participation in clubs and committees is declining. Although though we are trying to bring it back as much as we can. So, but yes, it is declining a little. Yeah,
So,
even so, we have now credits for attending like doing club and committees activities. So,
oh, really?
uh,
So
so
it's
the
the other way around.
institute has start. There is a credit for first and second year students. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now this is going the other way. See, when we were there, it was the other way around that our profs had to, ask us to spend more time in the lecture halls, in the LTs, rather than in the CAT or doing whatever club activity used to do.
Yeah.
So you see, let me just tell you one thing that,
Yeah,
but even when we were in college, we used to say that DA used to be a great thing some years ago. Now it's declining. And I think the narrative is similar, what you're saying. What the fact remains is this is the situation how it is right now, and it cannot be any other way. There were no, I mean, it's good.
yeah,
Comparison is good for improvement. But let me also tell you, comparison should not allow you to believe that something is ruined. Because the same set of students, like
yeah,
you guys are there,
true.
we were also there. We were also experimenting. We were also unsure about world. And knowing our
Yeah,
vulnerabilities very well, we did whatever we did. So don't live in that inferiority that, oh no, something is destroyed now. It's always going to be the same, but in the moment, what you make out of
yeah,
it is going to make the entire difference. So we were enjoying it. We were not thinking that much that it could have been some other way. We were enjoying it, and I think that enjoyment is what you're calling was the great days of. So yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I mean, we have to accept, and there has to be acceptance. If we don't accept, then yeah, yeah, we will be miserable, I guess.
just oh sure,
Uh,
yes, yes, of
that's the
course.
thing. Yeah, I mean, these days, many people go back home on Fridays, on the weekends. So,
Mm,
yeah, I mean, I'm guessing back then there were more club activities on weekends, but now it's like we cannot have club activities on weekends because half the population is at home.
mm, mm.
Yeah,
So,
that's
mm, yeah,
yeah,
that seems like a genuine thing. That's probably because I mean, the sample size of the students has a sizable people from Ahmedabad and nearby areas, maybe.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's also something countable. Yes. This is about like club and community culture. Another thing is that like how many students were exploring any other technical fields also, like uh, technical and non-technical other than software development and all, because you know abhi it is more like ki do DSA and just do DSA. So not just do DSA, but most of the people are doing just DSA, data structures and algorithms for cracking interviews and getting a software development job. So, how was what approach did you have? What should we do in life? I mean, what was the general approach? And,
From what I remember during our time, also most of the people, since the now university then college, was an information and communication technology specialist. So maximum students back then also used to focus on, you know, I mean, doing their technical part very well for the interviews. But it used to happen during the seventh semester, if I'm not wrong, when the placements start. So right before then, or probably by the end of the third year, students were doing a little more to make sure that they're able to land up a placement. But other than that, in the first and the second year, people were exploring all sorts of crazy, crazy ideas. People were, they were engaging into club activities. They were uh, dedicating time to all. I mean, they were experimenting with the credits, with the course combinations, and so it was not very, I'd say, like a boring atmosphere. It was a very vibrant, youthful atmosphere, and we had all kinds of people. Like just before exams, we would see that the RC used to get full, and like whole days and whole
yeah, yeah,
nights.
it's the same still.
It's the same. I'm I'm hoping it's still the same. Yeah. Also because it was the only place in the college back then where there were ACs. So almost during the summers,
Yeah,
everybody would
it's still the
literally
same.
live off, literally live off in the RCs. So, but in the RC, it was almost like a circus. In one corner, you'll see people doing some kind of coding. In another corner, you will find people reading novels, all kinds of novels, fiction, non-fiction. In another area, you'll see people had used to reserve their places. This is my table. So early in the morning, somebody would come, keep their bag, and reserve it for the whole day. Then they used to have those circulars that you can't reserve the table for more than 2 hours if your bag is lying. and you are not found, the bag will be removed. So,
Okay.
so RC was like
Interesting.
the microcosm or the micro universe representing the entire population of DICT. Sports was very vibrant. The I mean the SAC and the main sports ground and the basketball court used to be full in the evenings. The gym was in horrible condition, but still it was equally used by humans and pigeons. So badminton and so yeah, that used to go on. That was a it was a good culture back then. I'm not sure. I'm sure sports must still be something that is going on, isn't it?
Yeah, yes. Sports is still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it is there. It is there. Sports is
Yeah.
still there. I wouldn't say
So,
it's no, it's not gone. It is there.
so there was also a very, healthy, um, I would say, friendship between various students from different courses. So the MTech guys, the BDES guys, the MDES guys, the PhD guys. So we used to have a very good, there was a good culture of uh, cross-course friendships. We used to call it intercourse friendships. So, so yeah,
You could have. I mean, there could be a better name, but okay. Intercourse friendship. Yes.
I think this is the best name.
I guess that is not there right now. Yeah.
You know, is there still a
Yeah.
girls' hostel curfew over there at 12 o'clock, or what is the scene right now?
No, 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 no. That has been removed. So girls, so girls are also allowed to like. There is no restriction in any hostels.
And I hope
You
there's no
can basically
restriction
hang out all night.
all night inside and outside of college. You can come and go out at any time, right?
No, no. The from 12 to 6, you are not allowed to come in. We
Okay.
can go out anytime.
Okay, so that was not that was not the case back then. We used to catch the early morning train at 4 o'clock from Ahmedabad for Mount Abu. Okay. So
Okay.
we would leave at around 3 a.m. So almost the entire house of residence boys would walk their girlfriends to the girls' hostel at night to leave them. So this it used to be like a big long march every night. We didn't have any girlfriends, so we just used to go in sympathy to our friends.
Yeah,
Hmm.
understandable. Yeah, but now also so did you have LR back then, like Lakshman Rekha and all? The
No, no, no. Tell me
so
about it. What is it?
like yeah, so from the ring road, the main road, when you go like there is a gully, right, which like bifurcates into the girls' hostel. So you are not allowed to cross the main road and go into that gully only. So
Oh,
yes, all the couples are found around the LR these days.
so I'm assuming that LR, what you're
Yeah.
calling the LR, is the entrance towards the house of residence, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's the entrance, yes.
So you can go till the circular road, but not enter the house of residence. Correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it was the same back then, but we didn't have that name for it.
Oh, was it? I mean, there is a like I guess 10-15 meter road that goes till the where the warden sits.
Yeah, yeah. We didn't used to go on that.
So yeah, okay. It's the same. Okay, we have a name for that now.
That's more convenient. So what is like is there like it's like there is a penalty
Yeah.
if somebody accidentally drops off onto that walkway. Is there any penalty?
Suppose I don't know. I haven't heard of that. I don't think there's a penalty. It's just like a cultural thing that we are not allowed to. I have tried once, but nothing has happened yet.
So
Now that
everybody
I
has
have
socially
yes
confirmed
publicly
themselves.
disclosed, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
cool.
just a social confirmation, I guess. Yeah. So, where did you spend most of your time in DA? What did you do? Uh, doing
I
yes.
guess so. I was a boring guy, let me tell you. I used to be fun only in the nights because during the daytime all the LTs and this tutorials and labs would go. So we would get free by evening at around 4 or 5. So after that, I used to go to the gym. I was probably the only guy who used to go to that gym at that point in time because it was in a horrible condition. And then, I requested the
Oh,
student body government to improve and whatever. So later on, gradually it got improved. So, so I used to spend a lot of my time in the gym or in the RC because of the AC and the books, and I was very fond of reading. So, so it was mostly these, either in the RC or in the gym. And then we used to take a lot of
okay.
campus rounds and all
So
also.
what kind of books?
So, I mean, books, I have always been, like I told you, always been very fond of philosophy. So at that point, I was I'm talking about 15, no, I was 21, 22. So I was very interested in reading philosophical fiction. Uh, for example, Jean-Paul Sartre, Albert
Dost
Camus, Friedrich Nietzsche, The Stranger, Nausea, and,
Dostoevsky, yes.
Dostoevsky, um, Notes from the Underground. So all these. So I was reading a lot of existential literature, a lot of post-war existential literature.
In fact, I'll tell you a fun fact. If you go to RC, just pick out these books like The Stranger or Dostoevsky or Jean Paul Sartre or Friedrich Nietzsche, especially Friedrich Nietzsche. You will see, look at those issuance cards. I
Yeah,
bet
right.
you will still see my signatures from them multiple times borrowed. I can give you a
Yeah,
list of
sure.
books on which you'll just find my signatures because these were the horrible books nobody else was reading.
Yeah, still nobody reads actually philosophy, and also yeah, Dostoevsky is quite famous here. Fiction
Yeah,
read, we
okay.
do have fiction readers, so yes, we do have people do read fiction and Dostoevsky,
Okay,
but not
okay.
Nietzsche and Carl Jung, and yes, Hume, and maybe yes, all of that.
So, Dostoevsky, especially his character Raskolnikov in this Crime and Punishment, I call it the Raskolnikov effect. How it plays out is like this: that sometimes you know that you've done something incorrect. Okay. Only you know that. Rest of the people have
Yeah,
no clue. But because you are aware that you've done something incorrect, you will feel that everybody else is aware and that's why they are behaving the way they are behaving.
yeah, so
Okay.
true, so good.
So suppose suppose for example you said somebody to any of your friend and now you realize later on that I was a bit too harsh and this guy is going to go
Yeah,
tell everyone and he has not told everyone. That fellow thinks he deserved it, but you are thinking that he has gone and told it to everybody else. So when you
yeah,
move out into the cafeteria or into wherever, you'll see people talking to you in a certain way and your mind will tell you that, oh, they're behaving to me like this because he's told everyone. Okay.
yeah. That happens.
That's the Raskolnikov effect.
That happens with me also a lot of times.
Yeah,
Not
yeah, it's a
quite
habit.
a bit, yes.
So you
So
are also
what?
interested in philosophy. I'm sorry, you are the one
Yes,
who's
yes, yes.
supposed to ask questions. Because you told me, that's why I'm just asking.
No, no, yes, I'm also interested in philosophy. So yes, Bharani sir is actually leading, actually had taken the initiative of this podcast and all that. So yes, I'm also right now taking his class of modern European philosophy, and yeah, I'm also quite interested in that. It's quite fun.
That's great. Barani sir was
Yeah.
my prof in my BTech project on Gandhi, and I'm very fond of
Oh,
him. And he's also very fond of me. We are still in touch.
yeah, yeah. He told me about you. Yes.
Yeah.
So he told me that he was like you, studying philosophy 10 years ago, a decade. Yes.
So sir is a great guy, and he's a powerhouse of knowledge, and
Yeah, he's.
and he's an amazing person. So I was very fortunate to be under his guidance. I really, really, you know, credit Barani sir to introduce me to Advaitavad, to the Vedantic philosophy, and
Oh,
I am like today. I'm pursuing a certain kind of sadhanas. Experiential learning is going on. Earlier it was bookish learning. Now experiential learning is going on. And I think the
Yeah,
starting credit goes to Bharani.
great. So you are studying Advaita Vedant.
I think I've studied it earlier. Now I'm practicing it. I've studied
Oh, have
Tattva
you?
Bodha, Vivek Chudamani, Adi Shankaracharya, the Brihadaranyaka Upanishads, the Vedas and all. The reading keeps going on and on because it's tough to recollect.
Yeah,
But to practically live Advaitavad and to
yeah,
practically, see how reality is not dual, but everything is just one single unified essence. The more and more you start
yeah,
realizing that, everything changes. This blows out.
yeah. Uh, So actually, I also wanted to started reading Indian philosophy. I was reading and we did have a discussion on Indian philosophy. I don't remember exactly what he told me, but I think he told me to just start with the basics. Yes, yeah. So yeah, I thought he's more focused on Western philosophy and more of Western and European philosophers and not Indian ones. But then I found out who he has written a paper on how to read Indian scriptures and all. I was like, okay, that
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was my stereotype.
yes, no, yeah, yes, that was your. You were incorrect about him. There's so many more layers to him. He is, in fact, if you happen to have a good chance, he will invite you to his home. And I realized that he has been really deeply impressed by Ramana Maharshi. And back then, I didn't realize how big Ramana Maharshi was a deal. Now I know what he was talking about because there are Avadutas like Ramana Maharshi and Nisargadatta Maharaj and Adi Shankar and Gorakshnath. These people, they are not ordinary humans. They may have a body, they may look like a human, but they're not. It's not the human mind at work.
Yeah, true.
Yes.
So have you heard of Acharya Prashant? He's kind of he's kind of the proponent of Advaita Vedant these days. If you have heard of
Uh,
him.
yes, I've heard of him. I think I've seen a couple of videos also, but I don't follow him, so I don't have much information about him.
Yeah, I mean, how is he? Do you have any comments?
Not really, because I haven't
I have also
seen
heard him.
him from that perspective. But I think a lot of people have asked me, so I'm sure you must be having some good content, some good information to share. That's why people are talking. But like, really, I haven't heard him like that way, so I can't tell.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so coming back, what are the fondest memories that you have at the campus?
So, as an engineer, one of the fondest memory of an engineer is to study just the night before the exam. So that used to be a mela, and so it would be like the exam is tomorrow, and I don't have a clue of what's what's the language being used in this exam. I'm not talking about the syllabus.
Yeah.
That comes later on. I can't understand the alphabets. Okay. So we would study together, those tiny small rooms, 10, 15 kids sitting together, cramming up stuff. And those study sessions taught me the most about, management principles in my life to be used later on. So those are very fond memories. Sometimes, I used to be a big Hanuman Bhakta. I'm still a Hanuman Bhakta. So we would do some Hanuman Aartis whenever there would be power cuts. We would do Hanuman Aartis and the whole wing would join. It was a huge Aarti would go on and the prasadam would be distributed to everyone. That kind of thing. So in my college, everything happened. I started off like a Hanuman Bhakta, then I went on to become a complete atheist. Started reading Friedrich Nietzsche, started saying stuff like God is dead and all. And then I wrote a paper on
Oh,
Gandhi. And then so it was like a whole big huge circle for me. That's what. Then my one of the fondest memories are of the debates. I I believe before us, our senior Tarunima Prabhakar, she was the founder of the debate club. She, along with Solanki Bhaiya and a couple of other seniors, they established the debating society in DA. And then I and my close friends Aksharatan, Niyam, Chaya, Divya Thakkar, Shubham. We all, Chinar Mehta and Sandeep Martia. So we took a debate club to its heights, and we somehow got a good sponsorship for the debate club first time in Synapse at around 1.5 lakhs. So this was
Oh,
2012. Yeah, that was 2012. I and my good friend Akshay, we basically hijacked this GIL people, the Gujarat Informatics Limited people. We, yeah. So these Synapse guys, they told us that "Oh, you got to bring some money, otherwise there's no chance for you to host your debating event in Synapse." So we went to this Vibrant Gujarat. This used to happen, no, Vibrant Gujarat exhibition, and we
acha.
started looking for people who could give us money. And then we got hold of this Gujarat Informatics Limited. They said that they have some CSR funds to spare. We said, we are inviting Atif Aslam. you you should invest in our debate. And then somehow we just sold that deal and we brought 1.5 lakh. And these guys in the SBG, they were floored. They were like, how did they manage this much money for debate? And then we invited one adjudicator from Philippines. It was
Philippines, what?
yeah, it was great fun. One
That's
judge came
that's
from
crazy.
Philippines. Yeah, we got him. We got him lodged in some five-star in Gandhinagar. So it was good fun, yeah. So debating. We used to have debate sessions every Tuesday or Thursday, I think, in the evening, and it was a lot of fun. A lot of debating used to happen, and we would
Oh.
debate on everything under the sun. We would debate on motions as stupid as this table is a cow. Now you debate on that. Okay. So it was a lot of,
So
intellectual,
that sounds
interesting
philosophical.
intellectual. It is, it is. It's not just philosophical, it is epistemological, it is
Yeah,
metaphysical, it is experiential. So yeah.
yeah.
I was also part of the press club and we had a very good magazine. Used to be called Enteleki. Don't know if it's still going on.
Entirely, it's like it happened last year, but it's like inconsistent. It's like a little inconsistent. So,
Uh,
did you have it like in hard copy format or soft copy?
no, so we used to get it published on WordPress and it used to come out every once in 2 months, I think. And hard copy mein they got it one edition published by the fag end of our course. Uske baad I have no clue. So is it like circulated in hard copy now or what is it?
No, so I guess the last to last year they had last year maybe they had one in hard copy, a few copies. Yes, I mean, yeah, it's like once a year or 2 years they do a hard copy and you can buy it. And yes, that's it. You have to prepay and then you can buy.
So I'll tell you how it started for me in press club. One of my seniors, Sandeep Martia, he told me that, we want you to write an article. Okay, I said, okay. I thought it was a special thing. It was a once in a year thing that I'll have to write an article. Only once,
Yeah.
4 years you
Yeah.
write 4 articles and get done with it. I had no clue it was a monthly or once in 2 monthly magazine. I said, okay, I'm going to give you an article. What kind you like? He said, I started preparing for civil services by my second semester. So I used to read a lot of general knowledge, a lot of newspapers, magazines, and all that. So people used to remember me uh, through that lens that this fellow, he reads about everything other than the course material. So we'll make him
Yeah.
write. So we'll make him write something outside of college, something that relates to outside of college. So they told me, you write about police. I said, okay, I'll write about police. You want me to write about encounters and encounter specialists? They said, go ahead, you write about that. I said, fine. So, I found a couple of my friends. They were also just as useless as me. And we went to the Info City and we started interviewing people. Okay. We used our phone
Acha.
and we started interviewing people that, what do you think about encounter specialists? And what do you think about encounters? And do you approve of them? Is the instant justice good, bad, whatever? And then I actually ended up taking interviews of a couple of DSPs also. Okay. So it was great fun. And then one article came out of it. And that was the unique article because first time somebody had put in so much effort to write an article on Enteleki, actually interviewed police officers. And then it got published. Then my senior told me, then very good, you have to do this every month. Then I toned it down. I said, okay, I can't put in so much effort every month.
Oh, yeah, interesting. So now these days we have like NNN news and nonsense. Yes. So it gets published every month. It is pretty consistent. Yes. So it is like it is formatted like a newspaper, and it's on a A3 sheet. It is stuck in all the mostly visited places like in HOR washrooms and canteens and everywhere. So yes, we have moved to that. It's like a one page thing, and we have all the campus news and uh, all the a little gossip, yes, of what's going on in the campus.
Okay. So that's
Uh,
like also published by the press club.
yeah, that's published by the press club.
You guys have funds for that?
Yeah, we do get funds from the SBG, but it's like not a lot. It's 20-25 rupees per month.
Okay,
So
okay.
I mean,
Okay.
it's just one page printed in black and white. Yeah.
So at back in the days, there used to be something called some anonymous something anonymous used to go on Facebook that people would start without revealing their identities. They would talk about this guy loves that girl fell in love with this guy. There's a guy, in such and such batch, so much height, this skin tone, and all that nonsense. Does that crap still goes on? So
Yeah, we do have Instagram confession accounts
yeah,
even today. So
confession,
yes, every batch has
confession.
confession accounts.
Yeah, confession account. So that still
Y-
is still in vogue.
Yeah, it isn't as good as you described it, but okay, it still just goes on. It isn't as spicy as you said, but
Okay, it started it off back then, no? So maybe people were more, I mean, more courageous. Maybe now
yeah,
people have
uh,
lost interest also.
yeah, people are not courageous. I wouldn't say they have lost interest. I think interest would be there always.
Okay, okay, okay. Hmm.
Yeah. So, how did you decide to get into civil services and like not go into the technical stuff?
I was a pretty studious guy in my first semester. I remember there was a course in electronics, and I stood second in the batch. Our batch was 270 kids. I was second
Oh,
in the
great.
batch, and
Nice.
they displayed the top 10 rankers on that in LT, the biggest LT1 or something. And I realized it was very easy for me. It was not that tough. Mm, then something went off. I said, I can't do this. Not because it was all easy, but because it was in going in a direction which was not, which I did not find exciting. I realized by the end of my first semester, I should have taken a course in law or probably humanities in DU. Now the time was not there, and I was not even having the patience to give the exam again and let go of that year that I've studied. So then I decided that I will just
Yeah.
stick to this course and try and choose as many humanities electives as possible. Okay, so I was mostly taking courses of Barani sir and Majmudar madam, and there were a couple of other, humanities like courses or simple or easy courses. I was just choosing them. And I stopped studying completely. And then I realized that I need to really pick up something which gives me a good competitive reason to study and which should not be technical. So,
Yeah.
I mean, around the same time, so in my family, I come from a family of defense forces, all the three forces. So I wanted to go into defense, but then all this thing happened, and my Mamaji, he retired as a major, fought in Kargil. He said that, you do your engineering. After that, that's it. There is an engineering entrance scheme and you directly get inducted as a captain in infantry. Rather than starting off from CDS and all that, you'll start as lieutenant and then you'll take promotion. Over here, you start as a captain.
Yeah.
So I
Mm.
said that I thought that I'll give CDS once I am done with mine. In fact, I gave CDS twice. First I gave in second year also, I gave in third year also. I knew that I won't, even
Yeah.
if I clear, I won't be
Mm.
allowed to give SSB since I've still undergrad. not done my graduation. And I cleared it both times.
Yeah.
Both times SSB calls came, but I just gave it because I wanted to see whether I'm prepared to write the exam or not. And so I would just ride from, I had a motorbike, so I would ride from my college to Ahmedabad to give the exam. Anyway, so I decided I'll do civil services by the end of first semester, and I started studying. And that was not a very good decision because it's like a rocking chair. It keeps you busy, but it takes you nowhere. You can only give the exam after 4 years. So by till 4 years, you just have
Yeah.
to, you are neither here, you are not there.
Yeah.
I just
True.
ended up becoming a guruji for everyone. But I had a lot of fun. I had a great fun. I'm so glad I didn't have to study all that computer science and electronics. But please don't take me
Great.
as a bad role model. Okay, I'm not inspiring you to do the same. Okay,
Sure, sure.
you're an adult now. That's your decision, not mine. I can't impress you.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, I mean, copying doesn't work, I guess, for the most part. Uh,
Hmm.
I mean, everybody's path is different. That's just not so different, but okay, you have to decide for yourself.
Yes,
Copy
yes,
pasting
absolutely.
won't be
Yes.
helpful. Like, is it that you just started? I mean, you were reading all this news and then found out, okay, this is interesting, and then decided, okay, I love this, and I want to just pursue law and civil services. Or, I mean, how did you exactly thought that, okay, this is my thing? And also, there's also certain opportunity cost, right? When you decide, okay, I'll not go for placement, and then I'll prepare for exam. So, but there's like a 2 year opportunity cost also, and off campus is, I guess, pretty difficult rather than on campus. So, what what did you think? Did you have any contingencies, or uh, yeah, what
No,
was going on?
no, no. So it was very clear for me. I knew that the goal that I have set up for myself is a very lofty goal, and it's a worthy goal to give in everything. Sometimes, you can't choose to achieve greatness without taking great risks. And sometimes if the goal is worthy and lofty enough, then you get yourself the confidence to take the risk. Okay. So what you're saying that, it was risky, that you are giving out 2 years of opportunity cost, and off campus hua, then it's difficult and all that. These questions will only come in the minds of a person who has not really understood the goal very well. For me, in my mind, I was already an IPS officer. Okay. I was already an SP somewhere. And I was watching all those videos on YouTube for officers who had cracked the exam and the kind of role and job profile. And I realized this, working in a private sector is never going to satisfy my hunger and my thirst for this kind of authority and this kind of position where I can bring that great a change. So it was very clear for me that I
Yeah,
will either do it and get it, or I will die perishing. As simple as that. So that risk was there, but it was never an hindrance in my mental process.
yeah, right. That's reasonable. So, what advice would you give to people like me who are indecisive?
My advice to you would be, if you are having even an iota of, indecisiveness, or that second thought is coming, then you should take a little bit of a moderate approach, a balanced approach, wherein you should definitely go ahead with your placements, secure one job that fulfills your financial requirements, that fulfills your salary, because it is very important for surviving outside. At one after one some time you won't be comfortable to take money from your parents, so you need to secure that area first. Once that is done, then you find ways of putting in extra hours to study, and then shifting, whether giving an exam or shifting your other job or whatever. But if you are having even an iota of doubt, then don't do what I have done. For me, I had friends who had studied more than me, but they could not clear the exam. I don't think the reason was knowledge. The reason was attitude. The reason was एक सनक होती है दिमाग में. I had that sanak, which just, I don't
Yeah,
know, I was lucky, worked in my favor. But if you don't have that sanak, I mean, if you have the sanak, it may work. There's still no guarantee. But if you don't have the sanak,
yeah,
you are definitely going to fail. Okay. I think I can put it like that.
sure. I agree. So I read your Quora article. It said you prepared for 2 years for the civil services examination,
Yeah.
if I'm not wrong. So
Yeah, yeah.
how did you persevere through to 2 years of preparation? I guess it's pretty difficult, and even for let's just say even for other civil services aspirants, there are so many attempts, and many people waste like half a decade or even more preparing and preparing and giving examinations back to back. So how do you know when to quit and when to keep you have to keep pursuing, and
No, sir.
how do you develop the perseverance to go through? So it is just like sheer self confidence, no, I'll do this. I mean, it will happen, or is it something else that you think about?
Okay. I think you have already read the answer. So the tits and bits, the answer says very clearly what all time pass I did, how I managed my time, preparation, and all that. Okay, so I'm not going to go into that,
Yeah.
but I'll just
Yeah.
answer your question. What do you do? See, look, the first ingredient is not confidence, belief. Confidence is superfluous. Belief is very deep. Things manifest from beliefs, not from confidence. Confidence can become overconfidence also, and it can, in fact, hinder your hard work. You have to have a very deep belief.
Yeah.
So I used to give this example that, if a girl sitting in the jungles of Odisha, a tribal girl with no internet, limited books, can crack the exam just by the belief that out of the 1,000 vacancies, I need just one place. And that one place is so close and so dear to my heart that nobody can snatch it from me. If that simple girl without so many, without any kind of conveniences can crack, then I am in a very good situation comparatively. So I had that belief. So the whole source of change is belief, no matter which field you go. Now, answering your second part of the question, which is how to know when to quit. You can never quit. Quitting is not an option. Quitting is just called escaping, and you keep running no matter how far in your life. You will still have to. One day you'll have to face it. It's a larger question. You'll quit from the studying part, from the preparation part, then some other challenge will come. The same problem will take the shape of some other challenge. Then what will you do? You'll quit from that, you'll escape that. Then again, it will come in another form. One day you will have to face it. And the moment you face it, there is an attitude upgrade. The attitude upgrade is this, that it tells you that the whole fear was all in here. It was not outside. The problem is not the difficulty. The difficulty arises from within. And it was always a fight with my own self, never with that book or with that circumstance. It was always a fight with myself. The day you conquer that fear inside of you, everything else settles down. All the solutions come automatically. You never quit. Now, this was philosophical. Now I'll tell you practical. For example, I failed the exam for 2 years. The third attempt I cleared. But by the third attempt, I was also giving other exams. Like I gave the banking sector wala, I gave the RBI wala, I gave the CGL also. Writing those exams felt like betrayal to my original cause. And that is how it should be. That is how it should be. It should feel like a betrayal because this is not for what I started. But I was keeping a plan B. अगर ये नहीं निकलता है, तो I need to have a job in my hand. I'll still keep preparing till I'll exhaust all my options. If I exhaust all my options and I'm still not there, then I need to change gears and look for something else. But when that moment will come, I will deal that moment in that moment, not right now. I don't want to deal a future moment right now. In current right now, I want to do what is supposed to be done right now. So like that, I was giving other exams also. So you have to be balanced,
Yeah.
but you can't quit.
Yeah, sure. Got it. Yeah, I guess that overthinking would also, affect your performance in a lot of ways. So I guess this approach would be very helpful in that way, because if you are, there are two thoughts going on. You are preparing, and then you are also thinking of not preparing or what would happen. Then that would again hinder. That would backfire.
Absolutely. You can either prepare or you can think about preparing.
Yeah, true. I guess let's move to the work stuff now. So, there are many movies you must have seen that, about spies and the clandestine work and this IB-71. Then there is Special Ops if you have watched, and then there is Uri, the surgical strike. There's a movie on that. So, how do you think how closely do these movies depict actual joint operations conducted by these special agencies or secret agencies?
So I'll say depends first of all on the movie. Uh, uh, some are just really crappy, like this Tiger and all Tiger franchisee and this Jawan and Pathan. All this,
Yeah.
this is all truckloads of crap.
No,
It doesn't happen like that.
no, not that
Special
one.
special ops,
Have you
like
seen
you
Special
mentioned.
Ops?
Yeah, I recently saw, and I was impressed by. Uh, so s- uh, some things are blown off. Them dramatic freedom has been taken. All those control rooms and every fancy stuff doesn't happen like that. But
Okay.
I'm not sure. It might even be happening like that because the most crucial, these control rooms, most secretive control rooms of Special Bureau, are people are not aware about that. Special Bureau is, by the way, the technical name for R&AW. So,
Okay.
so they may be having these kind of control rooms, and we might not even know about it because that's precisely the point of it. If everybody knows about it, then it's no more secret anymore or special anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
I worked with various kind of intelligence. I worked with military intelligence, intelligence bureau, special bureau. I worked with the naval intelligence, and I worked in our own intelligence at the DRI. Currently, I'm in ED, and got friends in the state IB and CID and CBI. And I can tell you that intelligence is a very interesting field of work. It is actually something that will consume your entire life. So if somebody chooses to go into intelligence, it is not very glamorous. You don't have any time for
Yeah.
yourself or for your family. Forget about it. There's no concept of leave. There's no concept of work hours. There's no concept of you do something for yourself. It is all about the need and the demand of the task at hand. Con- like intelligence collection happens through several ways. There's something called human int, which is where we develop networks. I mean, informers, and we plant informers into
Mm-hmm.
syndicates, into groups,
Yeah.
and these are human informers. Okay. Then there is OSINT. OSINT is open source intelligence. You can find today.
Yeah.
Internet is
I
all
heard
over
of
the
it. Yes.
place,
Yes.
so you can find so much of data from Facebook, from Instagram, from LinkedIn, from YouTube, from news channels, from dark web, from payment aggregators, from Zomato, Swiggy, Amazon, everywhere. You will have a digital footprint. I can literally create your entire digital horoscope
Yeah.
by just entering your phone number. There are tools to do that. So there are breached
Hmm.
passwords, there are breached
Yeah.
website data. So you need to throw money, you'll get everything. So that is awesome. Then
Hmm.
there is, surveillance intelligence in which legal interception is done. People don't talk about that openly. That's done under the framework as laid by the MHA, in which after taking
Okay.
competent approval from the competent authorities, and the file goes all the way to Ministry of Home Affairs, we can put
Yeah.
people's, I mean, phone calls on listening. So location, conversations and all that. This is used to collect intelligence, not for evidentiary value, but for collecting leads. So intelligence is
Yeah.
collected in so many ways, and then this intelligence is used in investigative processes. So then, what you see in movies and all those are mostly human end being done across border. So R&AW,
Mm-hmm.
they cultivate and develop assets across border, and it's a very
Hmm.
tricky job, because it all of this requires a lot of funding and
Yeah.
availability 24/7. The handler has to be available. All the issues from the tiniest and minutest issues of your agent to the biggest problem issue has to be handled. So yeah, it's quite. I mean, as an audience, it is very fascinating. But as somebody who has seen it from, to some extent, not to a lot, but to some extent, who has
Yeah.
seen it from inside, It's very demanding.
Yeah, talking from the movie perspective, is it like so we in special ops they are like changing names, getting passports, and going to this country, going to that country, doing like clandestine work, and there's like always your life is always at risk. You can always get caught, and there are like cyanide pills and all that. So and there are also like so the CIA. I've also heard of CIA and the other agencies. They have very advanced research research department, and they have developed all these kind of devices that can communicate in very different ways. So how is it? I mean, is it that?
Yeah, it's quite like that only. The things that you have just mentioned are very much doable. That they are not that tough. So it's far more complicated than this. Making a fake
Okay.
passport is not a thing. Forget about intelligence agencies. All the rogue elements are doing that on a constant basis. So, you'll find Bangladeshis entering from the border. It's happening openly.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
No, I mean, not
incognito
just
movement.
passport, but yeah, not just passports, but like getting into as an employee of some institution.
Yeah. So
Like they're
that
just
happens.
getting in there.
Yeah, that happens. That's very, very common. It's classic textbook espionage, wherein an agent is
Yeah,
implanted into an agency as an employee, as a client. We do that on a regular basis for our operations also. You have to do that. Like, uh, like for example, not just me. I mean, all the agencies, investigation agencies, they'll do this. It's very simple. You get a call. We have the phone number. We just want to ensure that we have the phone number, so we have the location. But we want to ensure that this is the same person who's using the phone, because your phone number may be in your name, but may be being used by somebody else. So somebody can just give
yeah,
you a call on that phone number, pretend to be a delivery agent. I'll just pretend that I want to deliver to you something. Are you here on such and such address?
yeah.
No, I'm not here. So where are you, sir? Just give me your address. There's a big box of goodies waiting for you and all. So you'll just give away your location and somebody will
Oh,
catch you. It's very simple. These are
yeah.
simple traps, straightforward traps.
Oh, interesting. I didn't expect these things happening.
CIA is far
Okay.
ahead. CIA has been doing stuff that is debatable whether it is even legal or not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even I have heard. I mean, in the movies they show that even investigations they are like you don't have that many restrictions like the normal police have like that. So yes, the interrogation is also kind of harsh that happens, and yeah, I mean there are all sorts of things that you can do. Have you heard of Shane Parrish, the author of Clear Thinking?
No, tell me about it.
Yeah, so he's a great author, and he writes about clear thinking and how to think, and then all the how do you develop strategies and frameworks to think. So he also used to work in in the clandestine industry. He used to work he was at the CIA or something. So yeah, he basically writes many times in his book that you can connect with almost anybody as a part of when you're working with such kind of things. So you can directly talk to like the owners of the complete industries. Like you didn't give any examples, but there are basically you can talk to many high profile people directly.
Okay, I'll I'll read about him. But let me also just add that about the interrogation part or the investigation part, the law is same for everybody, whether it is the police or the investigation. I mean, a central agency. We all operate under the CRPC and the IPC. Now they've become the BNS and the BNSS, the Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Samhita and the Nyaya Samhita. So, and
Yeah,
there are so many Supreme Court judgments and High Court judgments. So, in fact, the more centralized and professional an agency becomes, the more law abiding they have to be. It's not a question of whether they are or not. They have to be, so that their cases stand in the law courts. So if I'm going to waterboard a person, tomorrow his lawyer is going to file a writ against me. Okay, that what is this nonsense? Okay, he's not a terrorist. So we have to,
yeah,
follow all the laws of the land and still do it smartly. So, where central agencies are better than police is that police may not have a lot of good training with respect to these kind of fundamental rights and this thing, because their work is so demanding, and often at times they are so busy and so occupied that at times it is bound that some rules get broken. But we have that liberty
Yeah,
that we work on limited cases, so that also comes with the added responsibility that everything happens as per the law, and we do not infringe on anybody's fundamental rights, even if it is a suspect or an accused. We have to give him their sheer dignity and the freedoms that the Constitution guarantees and still play smartly. So, mental work definitely is very important.
could you elaborate on how is the life of a clandestine officer? I mean, the work, any undercover, a person who is working undercover. So how do they how is the, like, they have a mission, so they get information and then they're like, okay, you have this new identity that you have to go on with. So like, how do they train for it? So let's just say ki you are going into some completely different industry, as a completely different knowledge base. So like, do you train for it, or do you have any psychological tactics to like bring out information from people? uh yeah. So
Yeah,
are
so
you have been trained for that?
no, so that's not the core part of my training. What you're talking about is espionage and pure intelligence collection.
Yeah,
It is more common with the IB and the Special Bureau. ED is an
yeah, yeah,
investigation agency, so we investigate. So I'll tell you, but I'll still answer your question. How that happens is definitely psychological training is given. It happens a lot in military also. Uh, so a big part of this is that you have to first of all be acquainted with the language of the area where you will be planted, and yeah, so you have to get acquainted with the local language, the local customs and the culture, with the way the people live, and you'll be planted into some occupation, of course. If the target is that occupation will be such that you will be with the target. If the target is a company, if the target is a person, you will be placed somewhere around the target only. And then your part of the
yeah,
job is that observe, you note, you take all the details, and then you transmit the details to your HQ. So you can transmit it via a secured phone, or some person meets you at a at a pre-decided time every 2 days, and you exchange a notebook or whatever. So there can be modus. You can choose your modus of transmission of information, but that's pure intelligence collection. We don't have to do that
yeah,
because our investigation is mostly financial, and so we have to look into the
yeah,
financial proceeds, trail of the proceeds of crime. So fund flow analysis and all that. It's basically more of a mind work and using softwares and banking data and all that.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
but
I asked you this.
when I
Yeah,
was
sure,
in
sure.
customs
Please go
and
on.
I was heading the anti smuggling unit, then I used to do joint ops. So we did that. I had also planted one of my guy into the syndicate, and so so there are ways you place an order, you try to find out what's going on, you show interest as a client, you win their trust. So they'll test you a couple of times, then they'll take you deep and reveal their secrets. At that point, you can catch them red-handed. So I've been several
Yeah.
times on the ground myself along with my team, and we've done operations in broad daylight. We've caught them red-handed. So it goes on like that.
So how long do these operations last? Like, like month, 2 month?
Yeah, so see, the actual execution of the operation may be very small. You may plan for it for
Okay.
more than 1 month. Every small, tiny detail, what will happen when you will study
Yeah.
their patterns, you will study their frequencies of, operations, and the locations they often visit, whom they're talking to, whom they're meeting, what is the pattern of placing orders and all that. And then you zero down a predictive analysis.
Yeah.
You do a predictive analysis and you zero down as to what is the most likely thing that is going to happen. And then on the day of action, you go, the whole operation would actually pan out to be hardly 5 to 10 minutes. In that small little window, you have to do everything. You have to pick up the guy, you have to seize everything, you have to hold them, and you have to take them. then the interrogation starts.
Oh,
So sometimes, and most of the things
yeah,
go wrong at that point of time. It will definitely 99% time will not go the way you've planned. Some random
yeah,
stuff will happen, and then you have to maneuver, and you will have to, use your mind, and on spot you have to take some decisions. You have to manage your bosses also, chief bosses also, and then
yeah.
you'll have to do it. So it is fun like that.
Sure. But that's interesting. I asked you this because you said, we have worked with the IB and R&AW. So I know ED doesn't do this kind of espionage things,
No,
I guess. Yes.
no. So this joint ops with IB and R&AW was at the point when I was posted in customs in the Indo-Bangladesh border in Calcutta. So back then we were doing we were catching a lot of gold. So gold smuggling we
Oh,
used to do. We used to target all the targets IB would target for us. We would catch them.
mm,
Often
nice.
joint searches and all.
That's again movie-like job. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. It used to be a lot
It
of
sounds
good action used to be
that
there.
sounds adventurous.
There used to be good action.
Nice.
Sometimes we would also take firearms with us. We would issue firearms from the armory. We would take firearms also, especially for narcotics cases.
Have you been part of any firings?
No, no, no,
Like
no.
they like movies. There is like open fire from both sides, and
If sometimes an open fire happens, then that's a operational disaster for your career. Okay.
Acha.
It's best that it never happens and that kind of situation never arises, because it is the it is the example of whatever worst can happen has happened. Okay. So it is only for deterrence.
Acha.
99% of the times it is for deterrence, that you hope to God that you never have to use it. It is only, and you never have to use it, and nobody steals it from you. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so no, never been in that kind of situation.
So like so when like the R&AW plants espionage and the people in other countries, I think those operations must be long, like
Yeah,
in
yeah,
outside
yeah.
India. No?
यस यस एब्सोल्युटली उसमें क्या है ना कि आपको आपके टारगेट
Mm.
को ट्रस्ट आपका यू विल हैव टू गेन द ट्रस्ट ऑफ द टारगेट एंड ट्रस्ट इज
Yeah,
नॉट ट्रांजैक्शनल दैट यू गिव हिम
yeah,
फाइव
it's not
रुपीज
like
नाउ यू
one
हैव
time.
दिस या यू विल हैव टू वेट इट्स अ पेशेंट जॉब ठीक है जब तक अब पेशेंट्स के साथ साथ हर दिन का खर्चा है there is a financial cost to an operation
Mm.
there's a financial cost of an asset
Yeah,
so you need to be financially
yeah,
mentally psychologically ready for that it may go on for 2 months it may go on for 2 years. So it's a very patient job.
yeah,
What they show in the shows like Special Ops or like this thing is they will show the climax part. So for an audience it is
yeah,
very good. Oh wow. But the
yeah,
audience doesn't see is that the development takes 20 years, 15 20 years. It's like a person has to give his or her entire life, almost all the living daylight hours to the office. Then these kind of things happen. So there are great minds who actually operate assets in R&AW or in IB. It is not an easy job. In fact, it is.
yeah,
If people go by thinking that this is a very adventurous and amusing job, oh let me have it. It's not for you. It's not. It's not for you. It's a very demanding
yeah.
job.
It is difficult. Yeah, I mean, it's like 24 hours you have some gun to your head. You cannot. It's very difficult to live with that anxiety all the time.
Yeah, yeah. You will not get much time for your own self. You can't just go to watch movies. You can't just wake up late on a Sunday. Okay. These are small luxuries of
Yeah,
life. You can't just wake up late on a
yeah,
Sunday. Whether it is raining, whether it is hailing, you have to go, you have to be there. You'll have to probably sleep so many nights in your couch in your office. You're just waiting for one ping to appear on your
mm,
system. Somebody whose IP you are tracing, something to ping on your system. 24/7, you're just listening to somebody's conversation. You're brushing over there. You're using
yeah,
the toilet over there. You're sleeping. You're waking up over there. So if you're passionate, only then something like this can happen. Otherwise, it demands pure Deshbhakti, pure unsullied and ekdam clean, neat Deshbhakti. Otherwise, this is actually
yeah.
pagalpanti. Only a pagal can do this.
Actually,
Uh,
you. there has to be some crazy element, because like like you're listening to the same thing for months, and then you have to keep listening. You can't be like, okay, Aj, today could be the day, any day could be the day.
Yes. Have you seen that show called Spy? It's on Netflix. Shasha Cohen Bannon.
No.
देखना वो real life story. There's this guy is an Israeli Jewish spy who goes to Egypt. वो देखना जरूर बहुत अच्छा show
Hmm.
है. तो that will show you the difficulties of the life of a spy. And by the end, he forgets who he is. His cover
Yeah.
and the life and the name and the identity of the cover, is he that, or he's he the person he used to be? He's confused by the end कि मैं असली में था कौन. It's very difficult. It's horrific.
Yeah. I was listening to an interview of a CIA agent. He was telling the same thing, that you have to separate your original identity with the the new identity that you have. Many times it's like, he was telling that, okay, when sometimes you're disguised as an industry leader or something, the owner of some oil company, large oil company, then to come out from that lifestyle back to your office, sometimes people, it's very difficult.
There's a movie called
So
Donnie
yes.
Brasco. Donnie Brasco was a real life FBI agent who was planted from 1976 to 1981 in the mm, in one of the the mafia families in US. Back then, all these Italian mafia families used to work at they were at their helm, no? So वो कौन है वो Al Capone वाली जो family थी ना उसमें
Yeah.
he was planted. So for 5 years he was there giving out
Acha.
crucial information, and he basically busted the entire gang, and he became the most famous FBI agent. But his own personal life, how he did that and all, is nothing short of a tragedy. So there's a movie also, and Johnny Depp has played the role of Donnie Brasco. So you watch that movie, you'll see it's how tough it is. It's not for a common man. Not everybody can do that.
Eh, Yeah, it's good stuff for movies only, not for us.
Yeah.
Yes. So yes, coming to back, not let's come from espionage to money laundering. So how
Yeah.
do you investigate money laundering cases, and how do you find out these people? I've recently heard in news there is this actress who recently got arrested, because she was gifted 2 crores from a person who did some 200 crore fraud or something. So yes, I'll not go into that, but okay, how do you detect these things, and how do you? I mean, so there are like thousands and thousands of people. There are like crores of accounts, and how do you mm, think this is suspicious? And there is also like false leads things and all that. So
So you see, let's first understand very quickly. I'm not going to bore you. What is money laundering? There's a very good show called Ozark. You write it down. It's on Netflix. So you watch that. That show will
yeah,
teach you what money laundering is. Okay, Ozark.
yes,
So money laundering basically started in. Money laundering goes as back as human civilization, but the laws against money laundering, they started getting formulated after the Vienna Convention. If I'm not wrong, it's somewhere in 1980s, late 80s. Okay, for
yeah,
primarily uh, for it started for the anti-drug trafficking. So there is a lot of money used to be generated by drug trafficking. Breaking Bad देखा होगा ना? And all the drug mafias were working
yeah,
across. Drug mafias are not just working on the American and Mexican border. There's a huge drug mafias in Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh. So
yeah,
a lot of cash is generated out of the sale of all these drugs. And then this cash is utilized in the economy.
yeah,
It gets layered, it gets integrated. Okay. So initially
mm,
in the Vienna Convention, they started that let's, define this kind of proceeds, this kind of cash which is generated out of drug money. Let's give it a name. So they gave it a name. It's called proceeds of crime. So you note this down. This is the most important thing. Proceeds of crime start was defined in 1989, if I'm not wrong, and it's a short form is
yeah,
POC. So basically, money laundering is all about tracing the POC and attaching it so as to disallow any of the criminals to enjoy the POC. Okay, got it? Money laundering is not black money. I'll come to that later on. Money
Yeah.
laundering means any kind of illegal activity. Actually, it's not any kind of. Later on, I'll explain to you. But right now, generally speaking, money that is generated out of an illegal activity. That money is called proceeds of crime. फॉर एग्जाम्पल किसी का मर्डर करने की रिश्वत या फिरौती की रकम दी या जो भी होता है, ठीक है? किसी को किडनैप करने के लिए फिरौती मांगी, किसी का मर्डर
Yeah.
करने के लिए रकम दी गई, चोरी करने
Mm.
की रकम दी गई, किसी के साथ फ्रॉड
Yeah.
करने का पैसा या ड्रग्स
Mm.
को बेचने का पैसा, राइट? ये सारी चीज़ें क्या है?
Yeah.
क्राइम से जनरेटेड प्रोसीड्स हैं। तो
Hmm.
इन क्राइम से जनरेटेड जो प्रोसीड्स होती
Yeah.
है उन्हें प्रोसीड्स ऑफ क्राइम बोलते हैं, पीओसी। तो मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग
Hmm.
एक्ट का
Uh-huh.
पर्पस होता है इन पीओसीज को सबसे पहले आइडेंटिफाई करो और इन्हें अटैच कर दो ताकि इनको क्रिमिनल्स यूज ना कर सके। और इन पीओसी से कुछ भी खरीदा गया है तो उसको भी अटैच कर दो। तो हमारे देश के अंदर अटैचमेंट की पावर्स या तो कोर्ट्स के पास है या कुछ कुछ एजेंसीज के
Hmm.
पास है, वो भी बड़ी लिमिटेड। पुलिस के पास ज़्यादा अटैचमेंट की पावर्स नहीं है, अभी बीएनएसएस के अंदर थोड़ी बहुत
अच्छा।
दी गई हैं। पुलिस पहले मूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी फिर भी
हम्म।
अटैच करती थी, जैसे कि गाड़ी हो गया, साइकिल स्कूटर उठा लाया किसी का, अटैच कर दिया। पर आपने कभी नहीं देखा होगा कि
हाँ।
पुलिस गई जाके उन्होंने होटल सील कर दिया या उसके लिए आपको कोर्ट का ऑर्डर लेके आना पड़ता है, ठीक है? पुलिस के
हम्म।
पास पावर नहीं है कि किसी मूवेबल या किसी का घर अटैच करने की। ये पावर पीएमएल एक्ट के अंदर ईडी को दी गई टू अटैच प्रॉपर्टीज सो दैट पीओसीज को इमीडिएटली पकड़ा
अच्छा।
जाए और जो भी क्रिमिनल है वो उसको यूज ना कर सके। तो ये तो हुआ मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग। नाउ योर क्वेश्चन की आइडेंटिफाई कैसे होती है पीओसी? तो उसमें पहले देखा जाता है
हम्म।
ऑफेंस क्या है। ऑफेंस के अंदर हमें पूरी एफआईआर देखनी पड़ती है। एफआईआर के बाद देखनी पड़ती है चार्जशीट में पुलिस ने, सीबीआई ने क्या बताया। उसके साथ साथ फिर हम अपनी इन्वेस्टिगेशन करके देखते हैं कि इस फ्रॉड से कितना प्रोसीड्स ऑफ क्राइम या पीओसी जनरेट हुआ होगा, ठीक है? वी विल गो बैक टू द सोर्सेस।
या।
उसमें स्टेटमेंट्स होंगे, सर्चेस होंगी। उसके बाद फिर उनकी सारी प्रॉपर्टीज की डिटेल निकाली जाएगी। इमूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी निकाली जाएगी, इमूवेबल निकाली जाएगी, गाड़ी घोड़ा मकान जायदाद सब कुछ। फिर वो अटैच
अच्छा।
करने स्टार्ट कर देते हैं। अटैच हो जाती है, उसके
तो
बाद फिर हम मुकदमा स्टार्ट करते हैं कोर्ट में, जिसको प्रोसिक्यूशन बोलते हैं।
हम्म।
और प्रोसिक्यूशन में वी विल
हाँ।
फाइट द केस टू विन कन्फिस्केशन एंड कन्विक्शन। कन्विक्शन यानी कि सजा किसकी, अक्यूज्ड की। कन्फिस्केशन यानी
हाँ।
कि कन्फर्मेशन ऑफ द अटैचमेंट, सरकार की हो जाएगी फिर।
या राइट। तो आपके पास एफआईआर आती है फ्रॉम पुलिस एंड सीबीआई एंड ऑल। यू डोंट हैव
एफआईआर
टू लाइक
कभी
लुक
कभी
फॉर
आती
थिंग्स।
है, नहीं नहीं, कभी कभी ही आती है। मैक्सिमम तो हमें खुद ढूंढनी पड़ती है, खुद के निकालते हैं। पोर्टल्स हैं सारे, वो सीक्रेट पोर्टल्स होते हैं, उस पर सारा डेटा हो जाता है, मिल जाता है।
सो यू हैव एक्सेस टू ऑल द ट्रांजैक्शंस।
नो, नॉट
या।
ट्रांजेक्शंस। ट्रांजेक्शंस के लिए बैंक से लेना पड़ता है सारा। सो वी हैव पावर अंडर द एक्ट। तो गवर्नमेंट एजेंसीज, बैंक्स, दे आर बाउंड टू असिस्ट। नोबडी कैन से नो। तो वो तुरंत दे देते हैं सारी चीज़ें।
या।
हम्म।
सो विदाउट नोटिफाइंग द अकाउंट होल्डर।
Of course, it is all done clandestine. How will the account, if the account holder knows कि I'm taking the statement, वो तुरंत पैसा तुम्हें भेज देगा ना। फिर तुम्हारा अकाउंट अटैच करना पड़ेगा और तुम्हें अरेस्ट करना पड़ेगा।
हाँ राइट।
तो बैंक नहीं बताता है। बैंक बता भी सकता है, अगर अगर मैनेजर मिला हुआ है तो बता भी सकता है। तो बट उसके अंदर फिर वो, अगर ऐसा कुछ पाया जाएगा तो फिर वो भी अक्यूज बनेगा उसमें। तो वो तरीके होते हैं उसको डील करने के।
राइट। सो या अभी हर्षद मेहता वाला स्टोरी बीच में बहुत पॉपुलर हुआ था, इफ यू हर्ड, 1-2 साल पहले देयर वाज अ वेब सीरीज। हाँ, स्कैम 1992। यस। सो आपका क्या ओपिनियन है उस पे कुछ?
जब ये हुआ था स्कैम 92 में, बैक देन आवर मनी मार्केट्स एंड कैपिटल मार्केट्स वर नॉट हैविंग दैट काइंड ऑफ सेफ रेगुलेटरी फ्रेमवर्क जिससे कि उनको एक्सप्लॉइट करा जा सके। तो आई मीन हर्षद मेहता वाज अ वेरी स्मार्ट गाय, सो ही फाउंड द फ्लॉ उसमें। नॉट इफ आई एम नॉट कंप्लीटली रॉन्ग, व्हाट ही डिड वाज, जो कैपिटल मार्केट होता है उसके अंदर बहुत बड़ा पैसा लगा होता है, ठीक है? कैपिटल
या।
मार्केट आपका, मनी मार्केट आपका ये हो जाता है, स्टॉक्स एंड ब्रोकरेज वगैरह ये सब कुछ होते हैं, ठीक है? इक्विटी वगैरह ये सब कुछ हो जाता है। बट कैपिटल मार्केट में सिक्योरिटीज को ट्रेड किया जाता है, बड़ी बड़ी सिक्योरिटीज, लॉन्ग टर्म
या।
प्लेज्ड सिक्योरिटीज, दैट्स बिग मनी।
हम्म हम्म
तो ये बंदा क्या करता था कि ये वहाँ कैपिटल मार्केट में ही टुक हिज एंट्री, जिसमें बैंकिंग का फंड
हम्म
घुसा हुआ है, जैसे एसबीआई का पैसा लगा हुआ है। अब एसबीआई का क्या है, तो लोगों का पैसा है, एसबीआई ने बस लगा रखा
हम्म या
है। कैपिटल मार्केट की ट्रांजैक्शन के अंदर ही, कैपिटल मार्केट के ट्रांजैक्शन के अंदर ही जब कभी कोई ट्रांजैक्शन करना होता, सपोज देयर इज अ टाइम पीरियड ऑफ 14 डेज टू एग्जीक्यूट द ट्रांजैक्शन। ओके, तो एसबीआई क्या करेगा, उतना पैसा, सपोज करो 100 करोड़, वो एक थर्ड पार्टी
हम्म
अकाउंट में होगा, जिसको एस्क्रो अकाउंट बोला जाएगा, या नेस्क्रो या उस तरह का कुछ अकाउंट बोला जाएगा, उसमें शिफ्ट होगा। देन ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ 14 डेज वो ट्रांजैक्शन विल टेक प्लेस ऑन कैपिटल मार्केट। ठीक है। अब हर्षद मेहता क्या था, ही गॉट इनटू दैट
अच्छा
कैपिटल मार्केट, ही टुक एन एंट्री थ्रू हिज कनेक्शंस। एंड ये सब
हम्म
कुछ पहले डिजिटली नहीं होता था, सब कुछ स्क्रिप्ट्स के बेसिस पे होता था। ठीक है। तो इसने क्या किया,
हाँ
इसने
हैंड
कहा
रिटन
कि
यस
आई विल डू दिस ब्रोकरेज वर्क एंड अलाउ मी टू डू।
हम्म
एंड प्लेड इज माइंड व्हाट ही डिड, ये जो जैसे, क्योंकि बड़ा पैसा है, बैंक का पैसा है, 100 100 करोड़ रुपए है। अब वो आया, ही टुक देम
हम्म
द अकाउंट्स विच वर अंडर हिज कस्टडी। ठीक है। नाउ देयर इज अ पीरियड ऑफ
हम्म
14 डेज जब वो ट्रांजैक्शन होगा, लेकिन 14 दिन तक ये पैसा इसके पास है। तो इसने ये पैसा
हाँ
डाइवर्ट करके मनी मार्केट में लगा दिया 14 दिन के लिए। नाउ दिस इज इलीगल। ठीक है। ही सपोज टू गारंटी दैट मनी बैक टू एसबीआई, बट ही
हम्म
डाइवर्टेड दैट मनी टू मनी मार्केट। मनी
या
मार्केट छोटा होता है। मनी मार्केट के अंदर
या
नॉर्मल लोगों को लगता है अब तो एआई भी आ गया, सो इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट। मनी मार्केट में क्या लगता है कि
हम्म
मार्केट ऊपर जा रहा है, निफ्टी सेंसेक्स ऊपर जा रहा है, आप इंडिविजुअल स्टॉक्स भी देख लोगे, बड़े बड़े जो ब्लू चिप टाइप के हैं, तो वो बाय एंड लार्ज
हाँ
ऊपर ही जाएंगे विद इन एटलीस्ट, अगर पोजीशन लेके चलते हो तो 2 3 4 महीने में। मार्केट नीचे जा रहा है तो नीचे जाएगा। ठीक है। तो हम क्या करते हैं, हमारी आदत होती है उसको खरीदने की जो ऊपर जा रहा है। करेक्ट, यही करेगा ना आदमी जिसके ऊपर जाने
हाँ
की संभावना है। या तो वो
हाँ
चार्ट और
राइट
बार एनालिसिस, कैंडल एनालिसिस कर लेगा, अपना देख लेगा ग्राफ क्या बन रहा है, या फिर वो टिप फिप जो चलती
हाँ
थी पहले। ठीक है। और जो डूबने वाला है उसके अंदर पैसा
हम्म
डंप कर देंगे लोग। अब जब आपके पास 100 करोड़ रुपए है ना, तो आपको ये दिमाग नहीं लगाना। मैं चवन्नी छाप स्टॉक को भी अगर खरीदूंगा, 100 करोड़ डाल दूंगा, डंप कर दूंगा उसमें, तो उसकी वैल्यू बहुत बढ़ जाएगी। ठीक है। अगर मैंने
हाँ
2 रुपए में मैंने खरीदा है 100 करोड़ डाल के, तो उसकी 2 रुपए की 200 भागनी ही भागनी है। जब वो 200 भाग जाएगी, तब लोग डाले जा रहे हैं, डाले जा रहे हैं, डाले जा रहे हैं, कह रहे 200 का 2000 जाएगा, तब मैंने निकाल लिया पैसा, क्योंकि मेरे पास पैसा बहुत है। सो आई एम लाइक ऑपरेटर,
हाँ
आई एम एन ऑपरेटर इन द मार्केट।
या
सो ही स्टार्टेड डूइंग दिस। ये बड़ा बड़ा पैसा जो बैंकिंग का था, कैपिटल मार्केट का, वो जो टेम्पररी आता था, उसको ये मनी
हम्म
मार्केट में लगा के ही वाज डूइंग दिस। सो यहाँ ये फंसा था। ठीक है। दैट इज द रीजन व्हाई ही गॉट कॉट, एंड देन ऑल द इन्वेस्टिगेशन हैपेंड, एंड ही
yeah. People said he didn't do anything wrong because he was giving back money he promised. So in that way, he wasn't wrong. He was just generating profits off the money he got. So
नहीं नहीं, देयर वाज अ लॉट ऑफ रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस दैट ही वाज ब्रेकिंग। ये तो व्हाट यू आर सेइंग इज जस्ट अ आई मीन वेरी सिंपल काइंड ऑफ एनालिसिस। हाँ, पैसा वापस दे रहा था, बट ही वाज नॉट अलाउड टू डू दैट इन द फर्स्ट प्लेस। आई टेल यू, आई विल गिव यू सिंपल एग्जांपल। ठीक है। यू गेट
हाँ
अ पॉकेट मनी ऑफ 10,000 पर मंथ फ्रॉम योर पेरेंट्स। ठीक है।
हाँ right
नाउ यू डोंट हैव अ कंट्रोल ओवर योर हैंड, यू हैव अ हैबिट ऑफ स्पेंडिंग इट इन वन गो। ठीक है। सो व्हाट यू विल
हम्म
डू इज, यू विल से
हाँ
कि योगनिक सर, आई एम गिविंग यू दिस 9,000, आई एम जस्ट कीपिंग 1,000 विद मी, and you keep this 9,000 safe, and you just keep giving this to me throughout the month. Don't let me spend it in one go.
yeah
I
right
said, okay, okay, very good, very good. ठीक है, I take those
हम्म
9,000. Now you are happy that your money is safe with me.
हम्म
What I am doing is I am lending this 9,000 to 5 other people. Okay. You get to know, Arey, what are you doing? This is my money. How can you lend it? I am telling you, no, no, I'll give you back whenever you want. You say, no, you'll give it back. That is another thing. But
yeah
you are not allowed to use that. That is first thing. It is not your money to begin with.
yeah
You got it? Now this is only 9,000. Imagine this
right
is 100 crores. This is the entire life savings of people who have worked for 35 years in government and whatever. कितने सारे लोगों का पैसा, तो
yeah
that is very problematic, you see. It is not, the question is not whether I
mm-hmm.
can return it or not. The question is I don't have the right and the authority to use it in the first place.
Yeah, ethical problem I guess.
Hmm.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess enough about work now. Let's move to philosophy. So yes, you said you were Hanuman Bhakt, then you moved to God is Dead and Nietzsche and all. Even I love Nietzsche. I'm very fond of him. He's often described as the most depressing philosopher, I guess. Yes. So how did you move from Hanuman will save me and to God is Dead?
So I think in order to have some experiences, okay, see, knowledge is one thing, reading is one thing,
Yeah.
but no matter how much you read about cricket, you read the entire history of cricket, until and unless you actually go and do the batting on the field, you will not know cricket, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can
Right.
give you a thesis about sugar. You know sugar?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
can give you a thesis about sugar. You read the entire thesis. You see all the photos of sugar. Will you know the taste of sugar?
No.
When will you know the taste?
When I'll taste it.
When you'll taste it. Right. So, for me, initially, I was a full and full Hanuman Bhakta. I was doing my Hanuman sadhana since my childhood. And
Mm-hmm. Right.
uh, then I came into college and I was, a very devoted guy and all that. Then I started reading all these Western philosophers, on these modern, postmodern philosophers, Nietzsche, Sartre, Camus, and their
Yeah.
scientific and modern thought. It appealed me. So I suddenly realized that whatever I've been, exposed with Eastern philosophy and Eastern religion is all bunkum. It is all ancient. It is not consistent with science. It is not consistent with electrons, protons,
Yeah.
or or the Big Bang. So, you come into a new kind of atmosphere. There's so much to learn. You're so excited as a young kid of 21 years, that 20 years. So I started reading all
Yeah.
this and I realized that this makes more sense to me. This is more relatable. I want to know things which I can relate in my life rather than talking about heavens and hells, which I can't see or touch. So I went on to become a complete atheist. There's a very famous writer, Richard Dawkins, who writes about gives
Yeah.
about fantastic truths, I mean, proofs of the non-existence of God. So, The God Delusion is his book. The Selfish Gene is another book. Very good writer, must definitely read him. So, I was reading all these people, and you know,
Yeah. I have
उसके
noted.
बाद क्या उसके बाद क्या हुआ कि then I started preparing for civil services, and then I got into the job. धीरे धीरे चीजें ऐसे होने लगी लाइफ में जिससे ना सारे बिलीफ्स जो होते हैं उनको एक हार्ड रीसेट हो जाता है, क्योंकि एकदम से क्या होता है ना, कभी
Yeah.
कभी आप वो चीनी का दाना चख लेते हो। जब आप चखते हो तो आप बोलते हो अबे यार
Hmm.
ये तो जो मैंने पढ़ा था ना इतने सालों से, ये तो वो चीज नहीं है, ये तो कुछ और ही है।
हाँ.
वो किताबों में तो फर्जीवाड़ा लिखा हुआ है, वो
हाँ.
किताबों में पता नहीं क्या लिखा है। दैट्स व्हाई आई एम टेलिंग यू कि
हाँ.
इट्स इम्पोर्टेंट कि तुम क्रिकेट के बारे में सारी हिस्ट्री पढ़ लो, सब पढ़ लो। सारी मतलब यू रीड
Hmm.
सफिशिएंट कि वेस्ट इंडीज में क्या ग्रोथ हुई, इंग्लैंड में क्या हुई, इंडिया में क्या हुई, इसने कैसे खेला, इसने कैसे खेला, ये रूल क्यों आया, एलबीडब्ल्यू क्यों आया, ये सब क्यों आया। बट जब तुम एक्चुअली बैट लेके खड़े होगे ना बॉल को फेस करने के लिए, तब तुम्हें जो थ्रिल फील होगा, जो मजा फील होगा, वो सारी हिस्ट्री से ज्यादा होगा। इसलिए पढ़ना भी जरूरी है और खेलना भी जरूरी है। ठीक है, तो
Yeah.
आई कैन ओनली से कि एक पॉइंट आएगा, इफ यू आर रेडी you will attract things, and some instances will happen with you which will literally just open your mind, expand your consciousness. When that happens, it will be the luckiest day for you, and then you won't have to read a lot of things because everything will fall into a framework. You will say yes, it's absolutely correct, God is also dead and Hanuman is also there. Everything will fall into place, but it takes time. वो अनुभव से ही आता है। वो आ गया तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, बहुतों का नहीं भी आता है। Stay truthful.
Yeah.
Stay truthful to whatever you're doing, it will come.
Yeah. Right. Do you mean that it was a gradual transition from God to no God, or I do think that atheism, when you like, it is like an irreversible thing. So when you are like, when you believe in God, you can go from believing to non-believing, but you cannot go back from non-believing to believing. It just becomes very absurd, in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, so that's why it's dangerous to call it God. And there's no point calling it God. It's a very simplistic word that doesn't encapsulate. What we're talking about is the nature of reality. And so it is not a sudden shift. The shift from believing to non believing can be sudden. A simple moment, like an accident that you believe should not have happened, can make you a non believer. Something very bad suddenly happens to you, which cannot be explained. You will lose your faith in everything. So going from believing to non believing is sudden. One can argue
Okay.
that non believing to believing can also happen if a miracle happens, but miracles don't happen so easily. So this journey
Yeah.
from non believing to believing, this is the part which takes time. So like I said that I was doing some Hanuman sadhana in my childhood. Now all these sadhanas, whether they are in the Sanatan Dharma or they are ways of connecting with something deeper. Okay, they are present in all over various cultures across the world. In fact, all the religions you'll see, no matter
Hmm.
whatever they may be preaching, what nonsense they may be preaching right now, but they started with the mystical experiences of one or a few individuals. Some individual or a group
Yeah.
of individuals felt something which could not be explained by their language and by their experiences of life. Something absurd happened. Then they thought that, oh, this is
Yeah.
nice. This needs to happen more. So let's explore this. Okay. And then, all set of those paths started developing. Whichever place they developed at, in the circumstance of which language, which culture, different religions came out. Some came later, some came earlier. But if you'll trace the source, it will go back to human experience. So right now, what I'm saying is
Yeah.
God, this word. In the entire yoga philosophy, there is no word called God. They don't believe in God. In the entire Buddhism, they don't believe in God. There's no God.
Yeah.
Okay. Buddha only talked about enlightenment. Enlightenment, which is meaning that light, realizing the light. So, what is the light? And is this light the God that we think? What is it? So, he's talking about something very simple yet difficult to grasp. He's saying enlightenment will not happen
Yeah.
to you. It has already happened. It is for you to realize that. That's why it's also called self-realization. Why doesn't self-realization happens? So before we go to that, you have to understand what is self. What do you think is self? Like, let me tell you, your whole life, your name, your family background, from where you come, your story so far, everything is just a memory. It's past. In fact, you can't even touch it.
Yeah.
The moment you'll try to touch it, it is already past. The tiniest moment also you can't touch. You are only a witness. And then once it is a past, it's a memory. What has not come is an imagination. It's all in your head, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah.
So so the
Yeah. We
idea of
only have
self,
present. Yes.
yeah, so the idea of self is a bundle of memories and imaginations, bundle of opinions and stories that you believe about yourself and that you think other people believe about you. Okay, that is self. That is the artificial self that the
Yeah.
man makes. It's not the natural self. So the whole process of this
Ego,
sadhana,
we might say.
meditation, yeah, ego. It's a bundle of all that, all the stories.
Hmm.
What a guru does is he removes all this. A guru is not a human. He may take a human body, but it's something else. So once all these concepts of self, they are dissolved, they are removed, the clutter of the mind is removed, you can see through and you touch something which is indescribable, which the moment you'll touch it, you'll start feeling it everywhere. You'll start seeing it, you'll start smelling it, you'll start sensing it. It's difficult and it's in fact foolish to talk about it because I might sound like a stupid to you. Why? Because somebody who's been through this will understand exactly what I'm saying. But somebody who is just trying to understand this with the language, common language, will think this is stupid and unscientific. But like I said, it takes an experience to believe. So it's a gradual thing. Once it starts happening,
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll believe.
So you do believe in a higher being, or I think Advaita Vedanta does have a higher being in its philosophy. So
So, higher being, higher beings, at the end, what is called Parabrahman in Advaita Vedanta is called Shiva in the Shaivites, it's called Vishnu in the Vaishnavites, it's called Adi Shakti in the Shakt Parampara, it's called God in Christianity and Judaism, it's called Allah and Islam. But these are all just names. No matter how many names we say, no matter 1,000 names you say, you're not going to grasp it. The moment you'll grasp it, it will be fantastic, if at all you grasp it, because then it will be like you touched something which is definitely higher, but you'll feel like it is the same as I. In fact, the I will go away. The I will be erased. It will be tough to differentiate. Okay, so not like
yeah,
how the movies and books show that there is some God who's interested in what's going on in your small, petty little life. That yeah, you'll pray to him that
yeah,
oh God, please make sure that I get this many marks in my
yeah,
software engineering or network programming, and he's just leaving everything and he's interested in making sure that you get the correct credits. It doesn't work like that. But at the same time, it works like that because it turns out that you're not praying to anything else. You're praying to yourself. Only thing is, you don't know who you are.
Oh, interesting. So, that aligns with the Advaita Vedanta philosophy. Um, we are Brahma, right? Aham Brahmasmi. Yes. So there is
Acha,
a
I'll
part
tell
of
you.
him in each
Advaita
one.
Vedanta talks about Brahma Satyam Jivo, Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya, Jivo Brahme Vanapara. इसमें एक वर्ड आया मिथ्या. Jagat is mithya. They say that Jagat is Maya. Do you know what is Maya? In fact, Advaita Vedanta says that everything is one. Non-dual, not one. It's non-dual.
Yeah.
Uh,
Advait means non-dual. Yes. Uh,
Advait, right? So you tell
yes.
me,
Yes. Yes.
like I used to hit my head at Bharani sir's table and I used to tell him, do you tell me how am I and this watch one and the same? This is different. You see, this is separate. Separate. How is this one? And
yeah.
we used to have very good discussion. Then he said, you should go read Ramana Maharshi and you learn from his life or non-life. You will understand. He would always used to deflect me. Today I can argue with you on that. I can prove you that you and the watch are not separate or you and the mic are not separate. You want to go into that? It's very interesting. It will take 5 minutes.
Yeah, sure. Even in the last class we were talking about Spinoza. He was giving us a
Monads.
brief history for
Yeah, monads.
yeah,
Every
yeah. So he was
determination
giving
is
what is
negation.
monoism.
Every determination is negation. Isn't that what he said?
Actually, we haven't reached Spinoza. He was giving a build up. So you were talking about monoism. What is
Monism.
dualism and monism? Yes, monism. Yes. Uh,
Yeah, so
so go on.
monism,
I and Mike are the same. Yes.
हाँ, अच्छा ठीक है. I'll tell you that. So you hold the mic so that I can see it.
Okay. Here is the mic.
Are you sure that that's the mic? Why is it the mic?
Yes. Oh, somebody sold me, telling that this was the mic. So
Yeah, exactly.
I believed in him.
It could have, if you see, you didn't keep the name mic. Somebody kept the name microphone. He might have named it something else.
Yes.
He might have named it macrophone. Then it would have called Mac, isn't
Yes.
it? You
Yes.
you pick a tribal from Africa who doesn't understand English. अब तुम उसको जिंदगी भर बोलते रहो माइक 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 दिखा के वो बता पाएगा माइक का है
No.
क्यों क्यों नहीं बता पाएगा
But But he would be able to distinguish, na? This is different and I'm different.
I'm coming to that. So, acha, theek hai, if you've already jumped, then I will also jump. So basically, you agree that Mike is just a name, isn't it?
Yeah, Mike is just a name.
It's just a name and an image in your head. So you can identify an object, correct?
Yeah,
Like for a location, you need latitude and longitude, X and Y. For an object, you will need a name and an image, correct?
yeah,
If I'll tell you
yeah,
the name, Mike, you will not be able to pinpoint there are thousands of mics. If I'll tell you the image, you will not pinpoint because which one amongst these. So you need two things, no? You need two dots to create a
mm,
line, correct? So name and
yeah,
image.
mm,
It's in our philosophies, in Advaitavad, it's called Nam Rupa. Nam is the name, Rupa is the image.
Roop.
Okay.
Yeah,
Where is Nam Rupa? It's here. Okay. Now you'll say, okay, sir, it is
yeah,
here, but this object has a separate independent reality, correct? That's what's coming to your mind, no?
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
now,
right. Mm.
so we'll come to the object. So what is the object, you tell me? If you remove the entire Nam Rupa, then what is it?
It's
It's a
something
bund-
that I can touch, I can see.
it's a bundle of atoms and molecules.
Yeah,
It's a cloud of atoms and molecules, electrons and protons, quantum field, isn't it? What's your
yeah,
hand?
right.
What's your hand?
It's a quantum field.
And what is the space between your hand and that object?
It's again quantum field.
And you know, science itself says that from the visible universe, 99.9% is empty space. Or it is something that we cannot
Yeah,
quantify.
mm,
Okay.
yeah,
In
I,
fact, I
I'm
mean,
aware of that.
let's in fact break it down. 97% of the visible space is not matter. Some 3% is matter. Of that 3%, 99% is empty space. The remaining is made up of what we know as atoms and molecules. So what you're witnessing right now is just because from your scale of vision, you are seeing this thing, this vision. If your eyes
Yeah,
had a more microscopic vision, then you would see a different reality, like an ant or a fly. Or if you
yeah,
had, which means if your eyes would be zoomed in, or if your eyes would be zoomed out, let's say you're looking at from the space, you will only see an Earth. You will not see the computer or the room or your friends. You will only see a planet, correct? So again,
yeah,
your
correct.
vision is just relative. Abhi, it is showing you solid forms. If you'll go in, all you will see is empty space and atoms and molecules, isn't it? So,
Yeah, right.
for your and my convenience, we chose to build language. Okay. मैं सारा मिक्स करके
Yeah.
बता रहा हूँ. ये युवल नोवा हरारी ने भी
Mm-hmm.
बताया एंथ्रोपोलॉजिकली कि कई तरह के होमोस थे ना, होमो सेपियंस, होमो इरेक्टस, होमो निएंडरथल्स, होमो ये होमो वो. तो जितने भी ये
Mm-hmm.
होमोस थे ना, इन सारे होमोस के अंदर एक
हाँ.
होमो सेपियन ही था जिसको फूड, सेक्स, कॉलोनी के अलावा चौथी चीज आती थी. वो थी कहानियां सुनाना.
अच्छा.
देखो, कम्युनिकेशन वो भी कर रहे थे. कम्युनिकेशन इरेक्टस भी कर रहे
हाँ.
थे. होमो इरेक्टस भी जो थे, ग्रुप बना के, झुंड बना के, अगर आपको शिकार करना है तो आपको कम्युनिकेट करना पड़ेगा कि वो
हाँ.
भैंसा वहां से आएगा, उस भैंसे को 4 लोग
हाँ,
यहाँ से
राइट.
घेरना, 4 लोग यहाँ से घेरेंगे, तब काबू में आएगा वो.
बराबर.
ठीक है. तो विच मीन्स
राइट.
कम्युनिकेशन तब भी था. बट वो झूठ नहीं बोल रहे थे, उनको पता था ऐसा कुछ होएगा तो हम ऐसा करेंगे. अभी ये इंसान आया जिसने बोला वो भैंसा आएगा, तुम 4 यहाँ से जाओ, 4 यहाँ से जाओ, वो चारों 8 चले गए, कोई भैंसा नहीं आया, और ये हंस रहा है बैठ के. बिकॉज ये कहानियां बना सकता था. ओके. एंड
हाँ,
दैट इज व्हाई वी
राइट.
सर्वाइव्ड. एंड व्हाट हैव वी डन? If you look around, we have just made stories. We have just made namrupas. So when a small child is born, no, the child has difficulty
Mm-hmm.
to differentiate boundaries of objects. A child will have difficulty to differentiate where the mic ends and where your finger starts. वो छू कर करके देखेगा. ठीक है.
Yeah.
और उसको जब तक तुम बताओगे नहीं ना, उसको लगेगा ये तुम्हारा ही एक्सटेंडेड पार्ट है. ओके. लेकिन
Yeah.
आप उसको स्कूल करोगे,
um,
स्कूल भेजोगे, स्कूल में भेज के बताओगे नहीं दिस इज माइक, दिस इज
hmm,
सेपरेट, इसको बिजली चाहिए, ये हाथ है, इसको खाना पानी न्यूट्रिशन
yeah.
प्यार काइंडनेस ये सब चाहिए. तो वो धीरे 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 पूरा जो है वो उसको स्कूल करके फ्रेमवर्क हमने बना दिया होता है, जो जिसको हम बोलते हैं स्मार्ट इंटेलिजेंट मैन इज नथिंग बट अ हाईली कंडीशनड ब्रेन in which we believe that this is this, this is this, this is this. In fact, it is just a vision which has been differentiated in our head. This differentiation
Hmm.
in the head of stories, of names, images, and the stories around names and images is called Maya.
Yeah.
So, आप
Understood.
got it? So it's not like you have to just give it up and not do and not participate in Maya. Everything is just same and everything is one. So what's the whole point? No, no, no. वो फिर दूसरा डिस्कशन है, वो भी मैं बता सकता हूँ. इट विल गिव यू सम रिलीफ,
Yeah.
बट वो डाइग्रेशन हो जाएगा.
Yeah. That discussion would lead to nihilism a little. Maybe
Hmm.
nihilism or nihilism. I don't know what you call it. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, to wrap it up, what advice do you have for students?
What
Yeah.
advice I would give
Yeah.
is that a lot of us, we keep living in the past and the future. We cling to the past too tightly. That creates a lot of emotional and psychological burden. And we keep thinking about future a lot. कि अरे भाई प्लेसमेंट में क्या होगा, ये क्या होगा, वो क्या होगा, नौकरी कहाँ मिलेगी and all that. And in
हाँ.
and in this juggling of past and future, we forget the present. In fact, not most, everything is happening in the present. So no matter how much you think about
Yeah.
future, it's not going to help you unless you take steps to frame that future in the present. So whatever you are doing in the present is going to shape your future, not whatever you are thinking in the present. So rather than my
Yeah.
advice would be
Right.
rather than getting too caught up in the head, get out of the head, be in the moment, and just be completely present in the moment. And I think it can lead you to God realization because it works like that way also. And true happiness
Yeah.
and bliss will come, and a lot of clarity with respect to life and what to do, what not to do will also come if only we are just completely 100% committed to the present moment. Commitment has to be there to the present moment.
Yeah. I can understand where you are coming from. But most of people these days think living in the moment is YOLO. So YOLO is like, you don't think about the future. You just you just think about, okay, I want this now. I'll get it now. So uh,
YOLO
that
is a
you don't
very
think about the future thing.
YOLO is a very flawed concept. YOLO is a very,
Yeah, it is.
like you mentioned, nihilistic concept because it there are two words that I have a problem with: live and once. There's something more that I leave you with. I want you to tell you one thing, and I leave you with that thought for your food for thought. Whatever you are seeing right now, where is it being processed?
In the head.
So yeah, so that's what science says. But do you know, if you'll ask the neurologists or if you'll study the latest papers after 1990s, earlier they would say that neuropeptides are responsible for taking
Mm-hmm.
for giving rise to emotions and feelings. Okay, that there are
Yeah.
ये word जो synapse आया कहाँ से आया, that these synapses are important. Synapses are surely
Mm.
electrical currents are going through synapses, but they used to believe that
Huh.
synapses and neuropeptides are responsible for giving us the experience of what we are experiencing.
Yeah.
That theory has
Mm-hmm.
been
Right.
thrown away. It's been 20 years now that theory is thrown away. Now you write it down. I want you to Google it. The hard problem of
Yeah.
philosophy. The hard problem of philosophy. You know what the hard problem
Yeah.
is?
No, I haven't heard of.
If you will cut the brain and no matter how much sophisticated semiconductor diodes and processors you used, you will only find tissues and bloods and meat. You will.
Yeah.
So there is something happening in the brain which is just what is happening in the heart and the kidney. It is going on in automotion. I'm not running my brain. Brain is going on just like my heart is going on, just like my kidneys are going on.
Yeah.
I can't stop my kidneys from not working today. I'm like, I'm tired. I want to give my liver a break. Doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
The same way happens
Right.
with brain. It's just a tissue. It's just an organ.
Hmm.
But how is this? How is this experience that you are having right now of a particular smell, whatever you are listening, whatever you are seeing, the colors, the images, where are these? Are these, do you really think they are in the head, in the physical head? Then
Uh,
okay, hold that thought, hold that. You don't have to answer it. It's just a
okay.
food for thought. The science, the neurologists say that we can't answer it. That is the hard problem of consciousness. They are saying we can't answer it. There is no proof. Then one wonders, when one starts to wonder, where is this happening? Where is all this happening? The answer is found in the yogic traditions and also in Eastern traditions. They say it's happening it's happening at the same place, which is the field of immense possibilities, which is the quantum field from where our entire reality is coming out. So this experience is happening in a different dimension, not in the 3 dimensions that you're aware of. That's why I'm saying that I have a problem with life and once. ये life and once जो है ना, ये केवल body पे काम आता है.
Uh-huh.
इनफैक्ट इट इज स्टूपिड
Right.
बिकॉज बॉडी को जब आप टच करोगे तब तक बॉडी चेंज हो चुकी है. इनफैक्ट
Hmm.
साइंटिफिकली स्पीकिंग विद इन आई थिंक 14 months each and every cell of a certain part of your body, like let's say your arm, will be replaced
Hmm.
completely within 14 months.
Yeah. Right.
Millions of
Yeah.
cells will die every day, millions will come back, which means in a couple of years each and every cell of your body has been completely replaced by a new cell. But this thing still
Hmm.
believes it to be Parag. So where is memory? Is it in cell or is it in a different dimension, which is working irrespective of the cells? What I'm saying is, you only live once. Life, जो ये कह रहे हैं, is a flawed concept because there's only one life. There's not 2 life, 3 life, your
Yeah.
life, my life. There's only one life. It's completely connected. And there's no concept of once because what this life is, this is beyond time. This is eternal. Now people can't access it. That's why they say,
Right.
oh, we only live once. Those who can will start talking like a yogi.
Yeah. Right. So yes, one last question. Uh, how has like philosophy impacted your life, and how important is it like for students to read philosophy, and how philosophy helps in general? For I mean, that's like for advice for other people. I love philosophy, irrespective of what outcome I get. But yes.
Philosophy is the most important thing that should be read because it gives you the approach to deal with life. Okay. When you go into a training institute, for example, I got trained with CRPF. I got trained in AK-47, AKM, SLR, long range rifles, X95s, Glock, 9mm Browning. So many weapons I've fired. But
Yeah.
musketry mein weapons come the last. Before weapon, the ustad will break your body. It will break your body to bring it into a certain discipline, to wake up and be present, irrespective of the weather, at 4 sharp in the morning, in freezing cold. When you can't go out, it's raining, your head is shaved, and he will make you stand. And if you are even 1 second late, the entire जो ग्रुप है, जो
Unit.
यूनिट है, उसको पनिशमेंट मिलेगा. सो योर रगड़ते हैं वो, ठीक है. दे विल रगड़ रगड़ के पूरी बॉडी को, लाइक 3-4 पोजीशंस होती है फायरिंग की. लेट की पोजीशन होती है, खड़े होकर पोजीशन होती है,
Hmm.
घुटने वाली पोजीशन होती है. तो लेट के
Hmm.
में क्या होता है, एल्बोज जो
Hmm.
होते हैं ना, एल्बोज के ऊपर आप लेटते हो
हाँ.
एंड देन यू कीप द राइफल लाइक
हाँ.
दैट एंड यू हैव टू मेक अ वी बाय योर लेग्स.
हाँ.
ये एल्बोज जो होते हैं, ये है ना
अच्छा.
खत्म हो जाते हैं पूरे,
हाँ.
क्योंकि नीचे कंकड़ होते हैं, पत्थर होते हैं, और आपको उस पे ही रखना है. और वो राइफल का वेट होगा 5 से 6 किलो का,
Hmm.
ठीक है, और उसी के ऊपर रखना है
हाँ.
आपको.
Right.
और वो डमी राइफल्स देते हैं शुरुआत में, चलवाते तो बहुत में हैं। तो वो डमी राइफल्स रख के जब तक आपकी पकड़ में आती है एक्चुअल राइफल, तब तक ये सब आपका सुन्न हो चुका होता है। ठीक है, खत्म हो गया होता है ये।
अच्छा।
तो फिलॉसफी इज दिस ट्रेनिंग, उस्ताद की ट्रेनिंग. इट विल नॉट गिव यू द आंसर हाउ टू फाइट अ वॉर, बट इट विल गिव यू द आंसर
हाँ।
व्हाई और व्हाई नॉट टू फाइट अ वॉर. हाउ टू के लिए तो तुम अपनी
या।
मिलिट्री वो पढ़ोगे, कैसे चलानी है ये सब वो सब, बट क्या आपको
हम्म।
करना है या क्या नहीं करना, दैट अप्रोच टू लाइफ कैन ओनली बी गिवन बाय फिलोसफी. That's why my suggestion is
या।
it is a mandatory and should be made a mandatory subject in school also, because all these problems, modern day problems of indecisiveness, depression,
या।
and sadness or whatever, these are genuine problems, genuine mental problems. कहीं ना कहीं ये इसलिए आती है because
या।
हम डायरेक्शन लेस हो जाते हैं लाइफ में. हमको दिखता नहीं है
या।
किधर जाना है किधर नहीं जाना. वी आर ऑल लॉस्ट एंड completely caught up in our heads. So
या।
उससे ही फिलॉसफी ही निकाल
I,
सकते.
I I agree. I think most of the problems arise from your thought process is not that developed to think critically sometimes. Yeah, I mean, so I mean in today's day and age it's like a world of information. So you have to, I mean पहले के ज़माने में ऐसा था कि जिसके पास सबसे ज़्यादा नॉलेज था he was the smartest. आजकल it's the reverse. I mean you need to have the discernment of क्या पढ़ना है क्या नहीं, क्या करना है क्या नहीं
Absolutely.
करना है, because it's too much knowledge out there. You have to
Absolutely.
focus. Yeah. So any closing thoughts?
Nothing. I wish everybody, it's a great venture, and I wish you and your entire team lots of luck that this goes on to become a success. And
Yeah.
uh,
Thank you.
and it's a good, very good gesture, because I can see it takes a lot of effort to take out a weekend and do all this, and you're taking it out for your colleagues, your fellow batchmates, and also for the alumni. And
Yeah.
I also enjoyed it. It sort of took me back to my college memories. इमरान हाशमी के गाने सुनते रहते थे हम लोग. so,
अच्छा.
so it was good to again travel back to the memories of DA.
Thank you, Yognik sir, for being with us. It was fun talking to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot for being our first guest.